The cauldron was cold, but the horsemen rekindled its fire, and in the hearts of the makers an ember of hope was born. Hope for life, and for what lies beneath the earth.
Hello everyone. Welcome to our Darksiders 2 Let's Play series. We're picking up where we left off, back into the reopened Forge in the Forge Lands. We're just going to hand in our quest to confirm that we restored the Tears of the Mountains. Well, it does look like it's definitely worked.
It is finished then, at long last. Death, this is a Maker's key, and you had best take it now, before I come to my senses.
You seem more likely to lose them, old one.
A problem, aye. But there is also a solution. The Guardian. Meant to be our greatest weapon, and capable of clearing the forest around the tree. But an earthquake drove us from the foundry, and now I fear something else roams within. The Guardian was never finished.
If the Guardian is your masterwork, how am I to complete him?
In the forest lies another construct, one of the few remaining who have not fallen to corruption. He is not as vast as the Guardian, but his heart is strong. Seek him out, and he will guide you to the foundry. There, you may activate the Guardian using the Maker's key.
Okay, we're not going to learn any more about the key. It's rather simple. We'll come across it later. Here we have another level up, and we're going to invest our skill point. I have one left over from earlier that we forgot about. We're not going to increase our ghoul health. I don't believe it's actually very useful at the moment, so that will be the last thing we upgrade. We're going to look at the other two skill lines down here first to see exactly what happens. So with Fiery Souls, we can give them fire damage, which will increase their damage per second, which is always extremely useful. And that will lead on to Corpse Explosion, which means when they do die, they deal an explosion damage, which is actually counterproductive to increasing their health, because we want that to activate earlier. If we don't go for those though, we can make sure that they give us more Wrath, so that when they're active they can restore Wrath for us, and then that leads to them having an increased taunt power. At the moment I'm going to go for more damage because that's something we're lacking in personally. I'm going to put both points into Fiery Souls, and we will unlock the Corpse Explosion on our next level up at level 8. Now that we have restored the Forge, we're going to be able to use or buy more upgraded items.
Forge blazes again, Ryder, thanks to you. But that's no excuse to hang about. Have you not a construct to awaken?
Well, sure, this key is special. Valus doesn't seem so impressed.
Aye. He mourns the loss of his friend.
Valus had a friend?
Och, aye. His great hammer, Splinterbone. It felled many a giant. But Valus lost it in a dungeon west of here, and it weighs heavy upon him. If you can find Splinterbone and return it to my brother, you will earn his gratitude. Mayhaps the forging of a proper weapon.
Getting some rather weird shadow textures there, but we're going to have a look at the armory at the moment. So look at exactly how expensive these even basic weapons are. Yes, they're upgrades to what we have, but it's just far too expensive. It's double our current bank account. So what we're going to do is we are going to free up our inventory space anyway by selling all of the items we just don't want. We definitely don't want any of these size, because what we have, look at all of these very basic. Look at the returns we're getting though, selling it for like 30, 90 gold, and we need a total of like 20,000 as a minimum if we want to get anything decent from here. Honestly though, you're not going to be using the shops too much in this game, other than selling your equipment to free up space. The only other things you're really going to be buying are health potions, which we are going to have a look at in a second, because we are running rather low. Just clearing all this out. This talisman is not quite that good, so we're going to see if we can buy. We can't buy any
You will find the hammer
potions
just
from
past
this
the
person.
fjord.
We're going to go over to the shaman,
Father be with you, horseman.
find the bloody way out.
It's you, horseman.
May the makers
Oh, it's you, horseman! Just been talking to you for so fucking long. It reminds me of Kingdom Come Deliverance when the NPCs go, "Hey, Henry's come to see us." That's another game I'd actually very much like to cover on this channel if anyone would like to suggest doing it in the comments section. Oh, look at her. She's planted all her plants here.
A heart in the forest, a mind that is dreaming. Awaken him, horseman, or you will never escape. There are new
Okay, so we are just going to buy some health potions and fill this up. Let's buy as many as we can. Don't need wrath potions. We can have a look at talismans actually, but again they are extremely expensive, and then we're not really getting anything decent out of them just yet. We're just getting a little more, a tiny bit more health, a little bit more wrath cost reduction on our abilities. It's not a problem just yet though, and the amount of health we get from those talismans is negligible. What we are going to do though is invest in some more movesets and get something more exotic. Okay, so what we want to go for first is the Harvester Slam. This is my favourite ability in the game, or favourite moveset rather. It's just so damaging with that final hit. It's very much a single target elite hit, and it summons a Reaper form in a flash, and we will see it later. This whirlwind combo though is surprisingly expensive for what it does. It will you'll throw your scythes in a 360-degree area around you and hit everything in that area. The problem with this though is that it can be difficult to get off fully because it's very easy to be interrupted when you're casting this. But we're going to buy it anyway.
That one's my favourite.
Just because we can. Okay, so if we use the training dummies here, this is the whirlwind combo. So it takes a while to charge up, but it comes up with a great result. And this is the Harvester Slam. So that's at the end there. It will cause a lot of damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue the quests, of course. But first we're going to visit Volgrim and see if we can pick up something from him with our boatman's coins. Okay, so we're back here. I'm just going to see him quickly. Rather an interesting item, this legacy artifact. Causes a lot of confusion on the forums actually about this game. It's rather expensive at 25,000 gold. And it's a level 40 item, which you just can never actually equip accordingly. But this is because you can't actually reach a level 40 right until the end game. I believe it's the maximum level you can reach. So on paper it sounds like a rather useless item. However, what this does is it lets us use possessed weapons, which are blank weapons which have very minimal base stats, but we can feed our other weapons and armor from our infantry into these weapons to give them stats that we actually like, rather than the random stats we get from random loot. Unfortunately, we can't get that just yet. So we're not actually going to get anything from Volgrim just yet, because I like to save up for either a ornate box or a legacy box. I generally find that they're just far too random to pay back in the quantities we like. So the next quest is the Lost Temple, and you start your way there by going through here again, through Baineswood. And rather than lean to the right, we're just going to the left here, following the marker on the map. I believe there is something to pick up just here though, a small collectible. This door. Just show you how hard it can be to get off that whirlwind combo. If you're not interrupting people before you get that off, you will be interrupting yourself. Rather annoying. Okay, so there's a chest up here. Just some minor detours you can do on your way to quests. It means that you get even just a little bit more rewards for just for your exploration. One thing I don't quite understand about this game is it was marketed as an open world game, but it's really not. It's very linear. It just lets you detour like that ever so slightly now and then. Okay, up here I believe is a stone. So the way you use these stones is you hand them in sets of 3. We have 3 of these mystic stones so far, and if we just do those, it will give us some base arcane stat to enjoy. But these are very minimal upgrades at the moment. The other 2 that we haven't seen just yet are stones of power and power and strength. Sorry. And you can combine any of the 3 to get things like arcane critical chance, strength, resistance, arcane strength, and physical critical chance. I'm afraid. Sorry, I meant to say critical chance. Do not know what words are today. So this is what the key that we've just forged is used for, is actually using these large constructs here. And the major functionality is literally just they roll on these balls we've been using, and we slot them in the holes. And we just mount them like this. Again, it's just mobile balls. Cheeky. Okay, getting slightly ambushed. Okay, so we're fighting slightly stronger constructs now. Been tainted by corruption. But not to worry, they still have the same moves. Just do more damage per hit and have a little bit more health to them. So you see our fire damage coming in there. Speaking of fire damage, let's show off our new fiery ghouls. You can see the effects on them there, they're not just plain blue anymore. Now you can see why I'm not too bothered about the ghouls giving us wrath per hit, because look at how quick we're getting it back again. Useful execution there. Someone throwing rocks at us, how rude. This game does get a little hectic when you get into tight spaces. It's very difficult to see sometimes and keep up with the combats. It just comes down to obviously the master experience I have with this game. Just knowing the rhythm of the fights. Not so hidden chest here. There's another health potion, which I can't pick up. And finally a shroud with some arcane critical damage. And weirdly some strength to go with that. There's two very opposing stats there. We're going to compare it with our Polsion here. So it's rather a lot less defense on us, but again, with the base numbers that they are, it's a very minimal difference anyway. We're not too bothered about 4% experience gain if we get this 10% critical damage and a bit more strength. So the arcane critical damage means that our ghouls and any Reaper flashes we do in our executions and movesets will do more critical damage. This has nothing to do with our base attacks. However, this does also give us strength, which does help us with our base attacks, which is rather useful. There's some lovely platforming here. Gotta hop across here and down here. Rather a long and windy way into the Lost Temple. Another one of these fucking stinger nests. I just don't like them. We're going to bring up some more ghouls. Just why not? Just can't see. There's so many fucking stingers in the way. Pop, pop, pop. Pop. Alright, so there's actually quite a lot to do in this room, but we don't actually have the tools to do it. Later on, we'll run in that direction when we are able to split ourselves into two. Spoiler alert there. And down there is, if people remember, Thane gave us a side quest to kill 4 bosses. One of them was Bearthir, and down there is Bearthir. We're not going to do them just yet because all of those bosses you do need to be rather high level to beat. So we are going to carry on down here for now. More ambush. Lovely. Pop. Of course, guessing the arcane critical damage is one thing, but we need to actually increase our arcane critical chance if we're going to get these critical hits in. If we take a look at our stats very quickly here, if we go to the toggle stat screen on the right there, we can see that our standard critical damage is 108% on our secondary weapon, but that's not really going to kick in because we only have a 3% chance to land a critical strike. And with our arcane, it's not much better, a 3% chance to hit, only 110% critical damage. So when we do hit it, we'll hit hard, but it's very unlikely this will happen. See, those big numbers coming up are critical hits, but those are only off of our base physical attacks, because we weren't launching any Reaper forms in those attacks. That was one though, that was perfect. 591 damage on there. Very juicy at this stage of the game. Jumpy jump, lots of winding way around. I believe in this room is there is a set called the Nomad set of Reaper Scythes. And what that is you get 4 collectibles called the Nomad's Gnomes, one of which was in that room, I believe, and it's like a sort of troll set of scythes put in by the developers. They sort of have very random effects. They knock you back, they do damage, but sometimes it happens to the player as well. It's rather annoying. It's more of an Easter egg rather than a useful tool. Let me just talk to Khan here again.
What of carven stone?
That's what we call the Stone of Construct Sentinels, to be specific. A sad thing destroying what a maker worked so hard to craft. But these days it must be done. You'll find the Construct Sentinels you need in the Lost Temple. Good luck to you.
So that carven stone is for our Shaman's Craft. That's the final piece for that side quest. And like I say, we'll get it during this main quest, so we don't need to worry about that too much.
Horseman, may I beg you another favor?
What is it this time, Pup?
A compass that guided me to many wonders when I was young. I thought it lost, like the temple. But now that you've found one,
The other will follow. Very well, Khan. I found your armor.
Stone be praised! It brings back memories to see it again.
Okay, so we've handed in his armor, but he also wants us to get yet another item for us in the form of a compass. This one won't be quite so out of the way as the last piece, though. It will be right in front of us, fairly deep towards the end of this dungeon. Now, in here, there is a chest to our left and some prowlers to come and welcome us. Hello, thank you for your hospitality today. Let's bring up some ghouls and take a health potion. Getting rather low there. Spicy, spicy. Let's just cast the ghouls. Don't want to die this early on in the game, that would just be embarrassing. I don't mind dying to prowlers later on in the game when they get icy, but this is just wrong. And jump down here for the chest. And some critical chance size. That would be okay, but we are going to get more damage out of our fire scythes at the moment. Later on, when we get possessed weapons, we can combine both an elemental attack and critical chance and damage. Oops. If you'd like to see more exotic builds though, please let me know if you want to see a New Game Plus when we finish this playthrough. It will be much the same, but we will take the chance to go into more side quests if we don't decide to in this playthrough. And then we'll actually be able to take advantage of the Crucible side quests. Because you only get to finish that quest when you make a New Game Plus. So anyone interested in actually 100% in this game, please let me know in the comments. But also, if you've just had enough of hearing me speak and watching this playthrough, if it gets boring, also let me know as well. I do understand I'm a very boring person, which is why I'm sat here making YouTube in the dark in my cavern, alone. But no matter, let's kill this thing. Okay, so someone in actual real life that I speak to, or used to, was very stuck on this type of enemy before. He said because there's a lack of aerial attacks, which there really is in this game, he struggled to kill this and actually got stuck on this particular fight. But we have a pistol. You're gonna wait for its shield to come off and you'll see exactly how easy it is to pick this off. Fucking take your shield down. There we go. Would be easy if you don't get hits, but there we go. Oh, no, getting too excited. Would like to take a health potion. And that's the carbon stone we're after as well. We're not going to hand that in though, just yet. I want to get through this dungeon. Got an execution chance there. Excellent. Alright, so we're just going to take the time to pop some of these crates and pots. This gives me all the money. The goal now, when we're spending money, is to get the legacy artifacts from Volgrim, because I would really love to pick up some possessed weapons as soon as possible. Then it makes it more worthwhile to actually use the shop, so you can target the stats you want from there. Okay, so to go through this puzzle, we go to the right of the main room and just have the fire sim behind the corruption here. There's a chest in there, but in here is a way to destroy all of this corruption in the form of that construct in the distance there. See, we have some more minor constructs waiting for us over there. I'm sure they're there to guide us to our goal. See, he's even pointing for us. How useful. No, that's going to kill him straight off. If he lands in the water. That's the whirlwind thing. Alright, so no, that first one didn't quite go in the water, but that's absolutely fine. The second one did though, and if you push an enemy off the edge of the map into a death area, then they will just drop their loot there and then. So We need to bring up a bridge to actually cross first, but the lever for the bridge is stuck behind some corruption, which we will remove by swinging a punch. There we go. Jump down. And it's rather tedious, this bit. So wall run over here. Not getting that weird glitch again from the first episode where it didn't know what wall running was. Not complaining though, I do not want it. And that's going to raise a bridge for us. This is one of those rare opportunities as well, where you get to use the construct offensively, which is very satisfying. While that amount of enemies would not be a problem for us anyway, it's much easier to climb on your construct and just slam down the power. It's got a very basic moveset of swinging its arms with X, or your primary attack button, and your secondary attack button will be the slam to do even more damage in one hit. The problem is though, you can't easily target foes with this, as it does have rather wide fire arcs. And that is done, I believe. We've just got that one construct down there that we pushed over earlier. Have a look at these sides. So we got Wrath on crit for these sides, but as I was saying earlier, we have barely any critical chance, so we're not going to get any major returns on that. There is a boatman coin under the bridge though, which you're going to get. And under here, rather sneakily, is another tunnel for a chest. Okay, so we've got some arcane critical damage gloves. So I'm just going to double check what we have equipped for gloves at the moment. So we've got strength and experience game, but I would very much like to go down the spellbinder gloves route. Look at that design with the exoskeleton there. Very sexy. Yeah, Captain Holt's shouting at me now. Back up here. Way back up is to say hello to the construct first, so only good manners. And now he can see the rest of his construct friends. Oh, missed that one. Like an idiot. Okay, so now it's just a long grind back through this alleyway with this construct. We'll fucking mount it. We're going to destroy all the corruption through here on our way.
Impossible.
Okay, so now back through here. The puzzle actually starts over this side. So what we're going to do is destroy that corruption, hop in there, shoot our wrist across, jump on the chain, and we're actually going to dismount down to here so we can pick up this mystic stone and another chest. Again, more detours to artificially extend the dungeon lengths here. There's a shroud with some experience, but our equipped one is certainly better because it has an extra stat on top. Do you prefer the look of shrouds over spiky pauldrons? Just, I don't know, it fits Death's image more, I feel. Release that ball. Slot in here. Release not only the gates, but the constructs. Bring up some ghouls to help us. It's really underusing those, I feel. We're also underusing our new movesets, which would help us a great deal. He's going to hiss us, not worth attacking through that. Yeah, a lovely execution there. And some more wrath and money. Double check we didn't miss any loot there. Dislodge this again, so we can get to the back. And pick up a skeleton key here. I really wish it would stop giving us this tutorial for the skeleton keys. I have turned tutorial screens off simply because they get in the way and I can explain them just as well. You think by now that the game would realise we know exactly what a skeleton key is. And that key just comes in here. The frustrating thing is it doesn't necessarily open up to anything useful at the moment. It's actually just to open another gate here. You'd have thought after all of that puzzle solving, that opening up the skeleton key door would just lead us straight through to where we want to go. It's really pointless just artificially extending the dungeon by just putting like a tiniest bit of wall crawling there. Love to hear the hardcore Darksiders fans start crying there, but feed me your salty tears. I love the game as well, but there are just some faults in here. Minor faults of that, but it just makes the game more tedious. Okay, so we're not going to go through there by ourselves. We need this construct to bash through some corruption shards. Just press punch again to detach, and roll out of there. I would love to see an evade move on these so we can move a bit quicker. Okay, so to our left here, I believe, is the dungeon map. Again, mostly useful for newer players. We know our way around this dungeon, it's okay. I'm here to hold your hand throughout. Whether that's more for my company or for yours, we shall find out. Please just touch me. I can't fucking aim here. You can evade along here. It's also rather stiff though. And some rather useless defense greaves. I can't remember exactly what we have equipped. They are enchanted to give us more money, so more money over a bit of defense. Easy, easy, no brainer. And our journey with this construct has sadly ended. Okay, so this is a more major fight scene here. I might actually show off the Reaper form in this one, depending on how much we struggle, because I know we're going to need the Reaper form a little bit later as well. Just pop him away. Those things are extremely easy, but if you do not sort them out, then the fights get harder, because they do summon more enemies. It of course just makes more sense to kill the easiest enemy first, so you can get the annoyances out of the way. Okay, we can use a lock on here to quickly target. I can say quickly, it's not fucking working. The game is working against me, making me look stupid. Pull up some ghouls. I'm going to get rid of the construct of junks here first, because I do not like them interrupting my attacks. The adjuncts are the ranged versions of the constructs. As soon as you see that execution button come up on enemies, you just need to slam that as hard as you can, because you can't be interrupted on that and it's a free kill. And as soon as the shield comes off, we're going to pop them off again. More of these. And bin the size in there. Where did everyone else go? So this is actually rather useful effect of the ghouls, is they do take away some of the enemies from your fight. Gives us a little bit more survivability, which is rather useful because we've seen we're burning through our health potions like no one's business. Dropping them like they are hot, I believe. Popping them like tasty pills. Fucking, he's got his shield up before we can find him. That's rather annoying. I'm going to take a health potion just for insurance. We're going to level up, which I really wish I didn't take that health potion. Because leveling up increases your resources to max level again. So that we can help ourselves out with this fight, we are going to go for the corpse explosion. I do like to not waste any time when we get skill points. Not only in this game, as in any game. I just feel, you know, it's just common sense. Invest as little as 1 skill point with trading 212 anywhere, anytime. This isn't a sponsored video, by the way, just to let you know. Not big enough for that yet. Fuck off. So, this rather large construct champion here is the reason why I might have to bring up the Reaper form, because there is one more round to this fight and we'll have to fight 2 of these at a time. They're not necessarily difficult on their own, but they do just hit hard. Able to stun them once you get to half health there. Then they like to do this. They see the corpses explode. So you get that little bit more burst damage on them. But because we don't have any piercing on our sides, we are doing a little bit less damage with our base attacks. I think we're making this up with the constant fire damage. Pick up those sides, don't need to equip them. One more round to this, where it is just these construct champions. And of course this, but they're irrelevant. Oh, that was close. You do really have to time these abilities sometimes. I don't know what the fuck that was. It's got really... oh, shit me. Shit me. Nah, fuck it. Reaper time. This again. Because it's not an upgraded Reaper, we don't have a lot of time, but it did at least pay for itself by getting rid of that one construct champion. It's going to take a while to regenerate that now, because like Roth, you increase your Reaper form per hit. But again, because it's not upgraded, it just costs so much. We've got so many health potions now. We have to be very careful in our future fights. Do get a lovely reward though. Hopefully there'll be fucking health potions. Nope. We do get what looks like a rather nice... okay, so rather than... we're going to equip that straight away with frost damage, and health per kill is very juicy. One of the top tier stats you can guess in this game is any health steal. In fact, you do get one that is literally health steal per hit rather than per kill. That's something that unlocks at level 20-ish. I believe it's either 20 or 22. Quite a long way off, and actually we won't be looking at level 20 until near the end of the game, which is very sad. This is more of a New Game Plus stat. So we're going to look at the size we have. We have critical chance of fire damage on our current ones, and they remain the superior ones, but we can keep these for any possessed weapons we get later. So annoyingly, actually, the end of the quest is actually through that door. I've got to do a massive detour again. I'm like fucking Spider-Man here. Call me Toby. Okay, nope. Oh, there we go. Oh, nope. I thought we were too much to the side there to grab onto that. I'm trolled. Okay, can't use that. Some secondary weapon claws. Those are very tempting, but we do have that health per kill hammer now. So we're going to have to remember to use that in future fights and actually kill people with that hammer. Because even though we have that stat, it doesn't carry across to our sides. And here is Khan's compass. there. Nothing else in this room. Okay, another very tedious puzzle up here, but also a chance to pick up our 5th Book of the Dead page. And this is where using the constructs also gets rather tedious and annoying because we have to juggle with multiple constructs here. You'll be thinking, what, multiple constructs? There's only one here. Just you wait. Just you wait. This is only the start of the puzzle. Not particularly long one, but annoying nonetheless. There's a lot of backwards and forwards in this dungeon, just in general. So we need a construct or a ball to fit in there, which is going to come from here. I'm going to roll him here. And that will bring up the lift. And then we roll him further into the room. Over to the right. And I believe it is this one first. Much mystery. Come on, let's mount it. Again, this isn't the most challenging of puzzles, it's just takes a while because these constructs are so slow. So feed this one through here, and to your left you'll see the Book of the Dead page. Rather annoyingly behind a gate, but that gate opens up in a second. We're going to punch once and punch twice. So we're going to pick up this chest. It gives me so many fucking wrath potions and no health potions. Not what we want. We have a new harness here, and our current harness is actually just absolutely terrible. We could have picked up this spellbinder robes earlier, but we're going to pick up the critical damage ones. Jump across here. And we're going to slot this. This is going to close the gate, so we can't go back through there. But because we have the construct fixed in place there with his chain, we can just go through there, and now we can pick up the Book of the Dead page. So that's halfway through. It's very likely that we won't actually finish this chapter in the Forge Lands. We have to pick up some slack in the next area after the main quest in the Forge Lands, which is not a problem. A lot of them in these areas are locked behind late game items and sets. It's a lovely shot of all the stalkers and prowlers. I wonder what's going to happen with them. This is a fight earlier where I thought it might actually have to use a Reaper form, and of course we can't now because we don't have anywhere near enough energy to start thinking about using it. That's fine. I'm a Master League gamer. I've been playing this game for so long. I don't die anywhere. Only 2 health potions, please. Wouldn't be so worried. Honestly, 90% of this game is going to be whinging about the fact we haven't gone down the Harbinger skill line, but fuck it. Later on we get a bit more sustain with a couple abilities in the Necromancer line. But even with these exploding and fiery ghouls, the Harbinger teleport slash is just so much better. They do not waste any time. And we're going to try and remember to kill these people with our fucking get here with our hammer so that we can get some health back on kill. Look at that, that's very minimal. We can see the wrath shards or health shards coming back into us. The returns we're getting is terrible. We're going to call up our ghouls as much as we can because we do have some wrath potions to pick up some slack. Better start using them because, like I say, it's giving us so many. Now we might have to use a health potion just now. And the prowlers are just so hard to dodge sometimes though. They attack at the worst times, and that rolling attack they do is so horrible. Pick up some more ghouls. Hopefully it will taunt those stalkers away. Stalkers have this weird thing, they might show in a second, but usually when they get to about half health they start like getting rather angry, start like huffing and puffing. What that means is that they're increasing their resistances and they'll start an attack chain. Here we go, I think this guy's doing it here. Yeah, he's definitely doing it. So it's going to start a really long attack chain there. It's just not going to stop. They'll do more damage. You can see our fire attacks there is not doing anything to him because he's increased his resistance. When that's happening, you really do just want to avoid them. I'm going to take our last health potion there. We're going to get rid of this fucking prowler here. We're going to stop using our target mode because that's actually getting in the way. So cornering ourselves, run back in, avoid those attacks. Run, no, oh my Christ. Oh, that was lucky, I thought it was going to kill us like properly then. Evaded off the edge there, pro move. But our ghouls did finish off that other stalker which would be behind us, which is rather lucky because this one's you can actually knock these out of that charge up if you hit them hard enough with the hammer, but we don't have the moves or the damage to do that just yet. And rather close, but we've actually got through that. It's a rather difficult fight there because stalkers are the bane of your existence throughout this game. You don't just get them in the Forge Lands, you will get them in later stages as well, and they only get tougher. Before we fucking... Why is it giving us the fucking stingers? I want to kill those constructs. Because they're the ones that are going to kill us. It's almost worth dying here. So we can get our health back. Look at that, I can't even see our health there. This is terrible. Which means we are going to die on our next fight, which is... it's okay. We are going to save just so we don't have to go for that previous fight again. So up here's another Book of the Dead page, which is why we're getting distracted because we need this to actually progress. Evade just so we don't have to keep staring with our gun. Just through here's the page. And hop down here. It's not going to move. Why are you not moving? It's not going to let us pick it up here. So we're going to pick it up here again and slam it. Which has worked. That was very lucky. The game just fights back sometimes. There's nothing you can do about it. Apart from fight harder. Okay, so in here's another challenging fight, so we're going to save. Just because we are going to die pretty much as soon as it happens. The reason for that is already 2 of these lovely construct champions here. These are actually slightly harder than what we saw earlier because those weren't tainted by corruption. We're going to let them kiss us there and kill us. So now we're back, but the returns were not good enough. Oh my god. We're still going to give this a go. Actually, it's a wise idea to pick up and actually have a look for health potions here. We're not going to equip that, we're just going to use it straight away. We're just going to take our time to look for some potions, although I do believe that's it. Need more wrath. How much do they cost? Okay, so there's a health potion. Let's evade that, pick that up, run, and start hitting because we don't want to waste any more time. Use a Wrath Potion to pick up that after summoning those ghouls. And you see how hard these things hit because they've already killed our ghouls. We're going to use oh Christ me, we're going to use our health potion here again. Pick up some more ghouls. Oh my god. It's just a case of dodging, coming back almost like in Dark Souls, but it's quicker. And you won't get necessarily one shot in this game. We're going to retreat a little bit, give us some more space, pick up some ghouls, take a Wrath Potion. So we've got that straight back in case of one shot our ghouls again, and that's happened, okay. So what's going to happen is I'm going to fast travel back to our shaman in the Forge Lands in Tristone. I'm going to pick up some health potions and I'll join you back here when I've returned. Okay, so we're back now with a full inventory of health potions. So it is rather a large investment, but you know, one of the mechanics of this game is if you do fast travel, it does leave a checkpoint for exactly where you fast travel from. So it is a valid idea to, if you do start struggling with a dungeon, to go back to a merchant and buy some health potions. But not only that, it has saved our progression with the Reaper meter. Which I find it's a lot easier this time, fighting one at a time, which is certainly the way to go, but wasn't letting us do that last time. Just be careful because one's just behind us. It could come up with that slam out of nowhere. Not a problem, there we go. Pull out some more ghouls. And because we killed that larger construct, we are going to have some minor ones to deal with now. Ow, nearly died in one hit there, very sad. Ooh, Christ, I'm going to take another health potion, I do not want to die again. You have to dodge right at the last second. Now we have the Reaper form available, I'm going to use that straight away. Sometimes I just can't hesitate, even if you do like to be conservative. So that's got rid of the large construct champion and two more of those remaining constructs, and that is the fight done. Finally! Oh yeah! Suck your mum. Okay, so now we can take our time to pick up any loots that may be lying around. Pick up the juicy Boatman coin there. You see, when I pick up this gold, how much it really did cost to pick up those health potions, though. It is rather punishing if you do need to use them all the time. They cost 1,000 gold per piece, which we were getting towards a healthy treasury there. So it's a minor setback, but nothing we can't recuperate from. I'm never going to financially recover from this. That's certainly not the case. Okay, so we're getting very close to the end of the dungeon now. Just up here is a boss fight, and that'll be it. At the end of this, though, I am going to hand in the quests for you, so it just saves a bit of time in the next episode as well. Unless we get the right fracking intro from our videos. Just being a bit salty there. Because you don't actually complete the quest until you hand it in, of course. Okay, so an even larger construct here. And you notice it drops these bombs down. I thought we could throw that quick enough before it's exploded. The idea is that you obviously avoid his attacks, and not quite like that. And his larger attacks that pound the ground will drop these bombs, throw the bombs at the Hulk, and expose his health stone. Like this, if I can pick it up, throw, and you can force it to explode by shooting it. And there's his health stone, the blue orb on the ground there. But of course, doing this does summon these smaller constructs, which are nuisance. They will die by themselves later, I believe. I think they get in the way of the hot boss's attacks. We're going to make sure a couple of them die anyway, though, because they don't despawn, and they will spawn even more as we progress through this boss. So I'd just rather they're not there to get in our way. Gonna execute him. Get that. Start running away from the boss because it does have some really wide attacks. Namely that slam there. Which did not drop any bombs for us. So it's just I did it over here. And then get a time out there before we list too early. Yeah, you force it to explode, but that's okay. It drops some more. Force it to explode there. Call up some ghouls actually to distract those other constructs. Okay, so Master Gamer here, playing blind. We saw we did a hell of a lot of damage to him. This is going to take 2 more attempts. Nope, 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 nope. No, no, no. Oh, trolling me. I'm going to stop using the targeting here. Because it does like to target the boss rather than what you actually want to fight sometimes. Get a pop health potion for insurance. Throw that, force it to explode. No, we can't quite hit it. That's okay, he's done it himself. More ghouls. Like it doesn't target the fucking boss when it wants to, does it? Useless. Okay, it's going to take maybe a bit more than once. It's just those constructs get in the way, they're more of a distraction than anything else. That's okay, drop that, force it to explode. Okay, we have the boss targeted, so we're just going to slam him with the hammer because that's our largest burst attack at the moment. And ignore those constructs as much as possible because we finished. Okay, so now we have the skeletal axe of rending, a tale often told amongst the dead plains concerns a proud warrior who boasted often of this skull, only for it to later be revealed that the braggart who claims the victories of his others for his own. As punishment, the warrior was transformed into a magical axe, doomed forever to assist others in gaining the glory he had so wrongfully sought. Although this axe does not strike as hard as many other weapons, it steals the vitality from those it strikes and transfers it to the wielder, strengthening him whilst weakening his foes. Critical strikes with the axe rend the foe for even greater amounts of stolen health. So this is an extremely useful secondary weapon here. Here we talk about the health steal potential when you get to level 20. This actually shortcuts you straight into that if you get a critical hit with this axe. So we're going to look at that. We can use the Master of Karkanos as well, because we've been level 7 for quite a while. Possibly should have used that earlier because of the critical potential from that. But we are going to use the Skeletal Axe of Rending because of the critical chance and the very nice health steal. We're not going to get any elemental attacks from it though, which is a bit sad. Then we're going to pick up all the gold here and just have a quick scan around for any extra loot, but there is none. What's rather annoying actually up here is that there's a chest behind this this thing here, but you have to fast travel back here for reasons that will become clear in just a second. Pick up that juicy health potion. Check on that nomad cover very quickly. This gives us critical damage, strength and resistance. Let's give it some resistance and strength, because we're going to start finding elemental attacks soon. And another useful health potion after the boss, of course. And a shroud we don't need. So this was the reason for forging the key.
You may ache, Warden, but you're not corrupted. Not yet.
Corrupted. Then it was not a dream. The Makers have need of me.
The Makers say that you can reach the Foundry, and that a guardian lies within.
The Foundry, yes. It is where I was cast. But it was lost. And now you will need my help.
Will you help me, Old One?
Yes.
Shall we?
Hold on, little one. In my slumber, I have felt the Guardian reaching into my dreams. He is the strongest of us all, but in his heart there is a hunger. The Guardian was built to destroy. He has much in common with corruption. You must speak with Adar and make your peace before we cross over. There may be no crossing back.
And there we have it. That fucking little shit won't let us get at the chest behind him. I'm not going to bother with it just yet. It is just a standard reward chest. We're going to hand this in though and pick up that boatman coin down here. Once we've handed this in, that will be the end for this episode. It's dragged on quite a long way today, I'm afraid. I'm very sorry about that, but the dungeon is rather long in itself. If you'd like me to see me split up some of these longer dungeons into 2 parts, please let me know. I understand it's quite a long video for you to get through if you don't have the time during the day, especially. You don't want to hear me drone on for so long. But what we're also going to do is we're going to hand in that Shaman's Craft quest on the way, because now we have all those pieces.
I've restored your forge and brought life to stone. But am I any closer to the tree? Tell me now, Old One, or you may never get the chance. I hear the Foundry is dangerous.
As is the tree, horseman, and the entire forest. That is why you must awaken the Guardian. But have you asked yourself why you seek the tree?
The Tree of Life is where I will find my brother's absolution.
The Tree of Life is a gateway. From it, one may travel to places undreamed of, whether a world of oceans and forests, or ice, or endless night. The tree exists there. It may appear different, yet it is the same tree, and its roots connect all the realms. The Tree of Life is not where journeys end, but where they begin.
Okay, so before we start the next episode, we're just going to put another point into Corpse Explosion. I'm going to run over here to hand in Shaman's Craft. There was a nice amount of gold there, 4,500. That just about pays. Very nearly pays for the health potions I had to pick up earlier.
You?
Here is what you asked for.
Ah, thank you, horseman. You'll not be sorry for your trouble. This talisman will certainly help you on your quest. But I fear you will not break your destiny.
No, but I believe I might bend it a little.
And for all of that, we get my least favourite special talisman. Basically what this does is increases our Reaper energy per kill. But, having said that, I don't believe our current talisman is actually any use. Yeah, it's only a little bit more arcane, so we are going to equip this Grim Talisman. But, we're going to leave it there for today, I'm afraid. Thank you for watching. We'll pick up tomorrow, where we will go further into the Foundry and unlock the Guardian. That's the story for tomorrow. In the meantime, I hope all your nights and days are auspicious. I've been the Edified Gamer. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.